Alright guys, here we go. Quick explanation of this project. Okay, first we're going to start out. We've got the Raspberry Pi. That is the core of any computer. It is basically the microprocessor. But this one is limited as it doesn't have video card, all that good stuff. It doesn't have internal hard drive, anything else like that. It's completely utilizes external outputs. So what we have here is the operating system. It's on a 16 gigabyte SD card. It's Linux based, running a Linux Debian. This is the ribbon that connects the GPIO outputs. GPIO standing for general purpose input output. This flashing little USB dongle right here, that's our Wi-Fi connector, our nano Wi-Fi connector. Over here we've got connected into the other USB port, a USB expansion port, which gives us another 8 gigs of memory, another USB dongle for the Bluetooth keyboard and mouse, and then the connection for the Arduino, which is basically a microcontroller. Other connections to note, we have an HDMI output. I decided to use HDMI because it's easy enough to do an HDMI conversion to a DVI-D conversion, which fits most computer monitors, or modern computer monitors, and it also allows me to connect to most TVs if I want to, or most modern TVs. If you have an HDMI connection, I can plug right in and I have full video and audio, at a 1080p resolution. This is the power input. That's actually a power cord that I'm using from my cell phone charger, as most chargers run between 5 and 6.5 volts. That's right in the ideal range, right in the sweet spot, if you will, for power needs for the Raspberry Pi. Other connections, right here we have a hardline Ethernet connection, which we're not utilizing because I have the Wi-Fi dongle, and there's also a headset or a speaker jack and a video jack for component system or component setup. Okay. Also, here's the Arduino. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. Alright, that should work just fine. Okay, what we have here is the Arduino itself, with the connection running from the USB hub previously mentioned. There's a power source and a reset button, but as this Arduino is connected to the USB port on the Raspberry Pi is in essence powering it. So there's no need to have the power cord, although if you want to, you can have it stand alone. Okay, we have power and ground. I don't know if you can see that or not. Alright, these green and white wires right here are the power and ground that are going to, the ground is going to be used for grounding the servo in the mechanism, and the green is going to be the 5 volt input for the mechanism. Now what we did for the signal that's going to trigger the servo to rotate in its 90-degree orientation that we decided on, that signal is going to come out of this black line right here. Is going to pass into our digital circuit here that we've created with a 7408 AND gate. We have the signal coming in. We have a trigger signal that's running out of this white line from the Raspberry Pi. So this signal out of the black line is always running, so we can almost think of it as a VCC. Now when this signal is triggered, it's going to trigger high, so that anytime you look at the AND gate, if it's looking at 2 low inputs, you're going to get nothing out of the output. If you got 1 high, 1 low, you get nothing. You get 1 low, 1 high, you get nothing. But if they're both high, like when this triggers for 2 seconds, this red line is then gonna signal the is going to allow the program to pass from the Arduino to the servo and actuate the servo as it's supposed to. Okay, all that being said, another thing we did was we added indicator LEDs, which you can't see them here because they're actually attached to the box, which is up there. You'll see you got the blue. It's indicating red right now because we have no new emails, and the green, which will indicate new emails. So what we've done was, from the Raspberry Pi through the GPIO, we now have green, red, and blue lines running out of here, going to their respective pins in this portion of the circuit. They feed into, for all three of them, they feed into 330 ohm resistors, which then pass from there to the LED, and then obviously the negative end of the LED we have coming back to ground. So we've got all three grounded. The circuit is grounded. The I can't believe I just lost a pin. Not a big deal, simple fix. Handy little jumpers. I apparently at some point lost my ground. Not a big deal. We're grounded, crisis averted. I didn't realize, but apparently at some point I pulled one of the grounds. Not a big deal. Quick fix. So now I've got the Raspberry Pi set up. I've got the Arduino set up. My circuit is set up. My mechanism and my LEDs. Real quick on the mechanism. This is the whole thing, if you will. Okay. This is the exit where the treats are going to be dispensed from. These are the tubes in which the treats are going to be held, one on either side. Back here, it comes right through the middle here. There's a slot down at the bottom of each for this disc that we cut a wedge into to pass through, and it kind of kicks out one, then kicks out the other, kicks out one, kicks out the other, and then they drop through here, and then there's another disc down at the bottom, angled, which allows the treats to just pass right through. Now, when it's all put together in its housing, this box is its temporary housing, there's actually a dish at the bottom, actually right about where the Arduino is sitting right now, that will catch the treats and allow whomever or whatever to eat them. Alright, here's a quick look, screenshot. Okay, right now it's running, and it's saying that we have two new emails. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and restart this program, run module, and now you're going to see I have two new treats. Now I know you can see that I'm going a lot better there, which is good for me. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to run this again. You don't need to see the screen for this one, but now you're going to see the LEDs kick on. You've got the green saying that I have a new email, the blue saying that I'm about to dispense. It's gone solid, so it's dispensing, and now that it's done, it's off. That was a real quick look at our project. Any feedback, let me know. Thank you.